Paula, what made you call Siding1 Windows1?
Here's how it started. My dad came over one day and said, "Your house looks terrible. You have got to do something about your house. I will paint your house. And I'll get some of my friends and we are going to paint your house this summer." And my dad is 65 years old, and the thought of a bunch of 65-year-old men up on a ladder was a little scary, so I thought we needed to go to plan B. And I had talked to a friend of mine who had their house sided, and he was very enthusiastic about Siding1 and told me to give him a call. And that's how I ended up calling Siding1.
What didn't you like about your home prior to having the work done?
We had an asbestos-sided little house that definitely needed something, and paint was probably not going to do it. So we loved our friend's house and decided we'd want to do that too.
Prior to that, had you heard of Siding1 Windows1 at all?
I think that when my friend had told me about it, it did kind of trigger something that I had heard of Siding1 just from commercials, I think. And now that we have had Siding1 do our house, I notice their signs everywhere. My whole neighborhood is covered with Siding1 signs, so everybody's catching on.
Describe the experience with your salesperson.
The salesperson was great. We met here at at Siding1's office first, and from then on, there was a lot of communication between the salesperson and ourselves, and it was really easy to make decisions because they kind of walked us through the whole thing.
Describe your thoughts about the crew that did the work and the quality of the work.
I would say the crew was really professional. They were at our house maybe 4 days. We had, there was no sign of them really. I mean, it was the smoothest experience with construction. We've done construction before, and usually that means your life kind of goes into chaos. And with Siding1, I mean, we never knew they were there. You know, 4 days and it was done, and we had this new house. It was great.
Can you describe your overall level of satisfaction with the whole experience?
I think it was great. I mean, like I said, we've had different construction projects in our house, and this has to have been the easiest, and the turnout was great.
Prior to doing this project, did you get any other estimates?
Actually, yes, we did. We called a couple companies, but Siding1, you know, I think was the best estimate.
What do you think stood out that made you want to choose Siding1?
Probably, you know, even talking to the owner. I mean, he talked with us, the salespeople. Everybody just made it very easy.
What comments have your friends and neighbors made about your home?
Oh, everybody loves our house. It's very cute now. We, like I said, we had this house with this kind of gray asbestos siding, and there were hearts, little heart, the things that go around the window. I'm trying to think of what those are called. Anyway, we used to call it our love shack, and now we have, definitely, people say we have a little yuppie house. Not that I would go with that, but it's very cute.
Have you referred anyone to Siding1 Windows1 since you had the work?
Yeah, actually, 2 neighbors have used Siding1 since they've seen our house, so we have. I think it's mostly, yeah, people walking by our house ask.
If you were to pick out just maybe 1 or 2 things that most impressed you about the company, the experience, what do you think those would be?
You know, while our project was being done, there was great communication between the people at Siding1. Every day we had somebody call us saying, "Are there any problems? Do you have any questions?" People outside of the actual crew. And, you know, and when the project was done, again, follow-up calls, making sure we were happy, and I thought that was really great.
Any final thoughts or comments you'd like to make about the company, the experience, anything?
Well, I can tell you one little story that definitely stood out. Bill Conforti actually came over to our house, and this just tells you how neat they wanted to keep our project and leave our house untouched. He actually took his shoes off when he came to our house so he wouldn't track anything in, and I thought, the owner of the company, I thought that was pretty impressive. It was definitely above and beyond what you'd expect.